right, Bill King's with us today on National Signing Day. Usually that would, these things would work in tandem because Bill King pretty much invented the art of college football specific talk radio, focusing on recruiting quite a bit. He does commitments when Nashville allows large gatherings on early signing day, which now is real signing day. So, Bill, it is, I guess it's National Signing Day, or is it? I mean, it doesn't feel like what used to be a big college football holiday.
I don't know what the right example is, but you guys, it may be college, it may be high school. Remember you used to have some friends and you would have a big party and it was always good. And then as time wore on, it just wasn't the same and it's gone. That's signing day. That's the crescendo to February, the first Wednesday in February. And you had those huge visit weekends in January, usually the second week of January 3rd, 4th, etc., right till the eve of the dead period. And then Christmas was the first Wednesday when you would get up and you would figure out what everybody did. That was literally, guys, adopted by fans across the planet, football fans, as an extension of the season. It was a way to not put down the season. Yeah, the games are over. We've got something that thrills us just as much, and that's the crescendo to signing day, and they killed it. Really killed it. December is not replicating it at all. And guys, this was supposedly done in the name of get it out of the way and get your decision done. You don't have to worry about it. 6 weeks doesn't do that. If you really wanted to do that, you do it the summer before your senior year. And that way, when you're playing, you're not worried about where you're going. So the whole thing is silly.
I like your comparison to, like, the party that you always had with your friends that was the party you always looked forward to. And then, 20 years later, after you guys haven't seen each other, and you're all getting together, like, well, I'm happy to see you, but I have no idea what to talk to you guys about. There used to be events. You used to have a signing day in the Rock. I mean, there was a huge signing day on the Hill, signing day in the Rock. Yeah. They made two big events out of it, and now, I mean, it's not like you could have the big event anyway because of the pandemic. But yeah, I think you put it really well in the idea that that it used to be the thing that kind of glued together the 12-month college football calendar, because really the glow from signing day would lead right into spring ball. But now it's just sort of like a dead month.
I discovered so many, and for lack of a better term, scientific things when it came to recruiting and signing day. I discovered that there is a group of people, I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this yet, there is, and there still is, that prefer signing day, back when we had it like that, than actually seeing what the results were going to be. It was like, okay, the anticipation of Christmas is probably better than the actual day, right? Because the day is over. But there's a group, and it's maybe 5% of the recruiting fans out there. But I've met these people. They've called me on my show. They actually prefer the pursuit and the unknown of what's going to happen to actually, okay, we got these guys. I wonder how well they're going to play. Nah, let's just go to the next group. There's people like that.
Here's a good analogy we just got on the text machine from Bob in Hot Springs. He says that this signing day is akin to the Friday after Thanksgiving known as leftover day. But is that really true? I mean, like, have all the real blue chip recruits already chosen their destination? Or there's still like a handful, 2 handfuls, 3 handfuls left over that have, that are making announcements today? Very
little. Logan Diggs is a running back down in Louisiana. I think he's going to stick with Notre Dame, but LSU came in on him quick. Florida's not going to sign anybody today. Tennessee's a big mess, as you know. So 99% of it's done. Here was my analogy this morning. Remember growing up, everybody had the Farrah Fawcett. Every guy had the Farrah Fawcett poster, and it was, her in the one piece. There was nothing wrong with it. And due to the NCAA's recent decision to make December the main day, they replaced that poster with Phyllis Diller. That's what they did.
I don't think SmackDown has any clue of who you're talking about.
I'm laughing along just so I don't sound like an idiot.
Okay. Rosie O'Donnell. They took Farrah Fawcett and they put Rosie O'Donnell over.
Got it. Okay. Got it. All right. I know those two names, so I can handle that. Bill King joining us here on Halftime. Bill, let's go. I want to ask you a little bit about some college basketball real quick because preseason, Tennessee was absolutely rolling this year. And then, Bill, they laid an absolute egg last night against Ole Miss. What's going on with Tennessee basketball right now?
Oh, they beat Kansas handily, dominated them, destroyed them, and then they play SEC games and they don't play so well. Well, they chuck up a lot of prayers, and they were going in early last night, and then they stopped. What were they, like 1 for 14 down the stretch? Something crazy. But, I mean, when they're on, they're top 10 good, top 5 maybe. But, and they don't have a point guard. No, they got a lot of athletes, a lot of good players, but they do not have a quarterback, if you would, that leads them every night. And I think that, to me, that might be more important than the big guy. It probably is in this game today, and they don't have it.
I'll bring it back to football. I was just kind of curious about that because Tennessee basketball, I mean, they were rolling there for a minute, then laid an egg last night. But I guess that puts Arkansas. They put Arkansas in the top 4 spot right now in the SEC conference, so I can handle that. Moving back to football just for a second, we've talked a lot about the turmoil and the controversy and everything that's been happening with Tennessee, and now they're hiring Josh Heupel. They've lost a lot of players. The Volunteers have to the transfer portal. So when you factor in the coaching change and with so close to National Signing Day today, how has that affected the Vols signing class for 2021 as far as the players they're bringing in, the players that are leaving, pretty much when you put everything all together?
Well, they had quite a few decommits, and the transfer portal, losing Eric Gray, who could play, he's a running back, play for any team in America. He's going to Oklahoma. Wanye Morris, young tackle, left tackle, is going to Oklahoma. Number 11, Henry To'o is their best player. He's a linebacker. Any team in America would take him in. His other team is Alabama in the recruiting. They wanted him badly. So we'll see what he does. He had made a decision. So you've taken a pretty good handful from a team that only won 3 games, and you've taken most of their best players, whether it's already established players or recruits, and they're not coming. So it's going to be a pretty big dig out. Heupel's got a 6-year deal, and I think that's very fair. Whoever you brought in there needs a long deal because it's a long build out in there. Now, guys, I haven't looked, or this morning they were ranked like number 16, which is remarkable. If that holds up, I'm not sure that holds up at the end of today.
I think they still were there. You know, I thought that there was a really, I don't know if funny is the way to put it, but what an interesting dynamic with Josh Heupel coming in and inheriting quarterbacks coach Chris Winkie, who had beaten him out for the Heisman Trophy. What was that, the year 2000 with Florida State? The year before? I forget exactly the year that Winkie won it.
It was.
I mean, you let him go. Is that a little bit of like revenge for you beat me for the Heisman?
There's a picture of those two at the ceremony with LaDainian Tomlinson. It's all over Twitter. You've probably seen it. It's pretty ironic. But, yeah, guys. And now, Winkie wasn't all that highly thought of at Tennessee, frankly, with the quarterback work and everything else. There was a lot of talk that Pruitt had already told him before the fateful Monday to go find another job. I don't know if that would have lasted anyways. But, yes, the irony is duly noted.
Well, gosh, I mean, the results from their quarterback play from the last few years would be enough to tell any quarterback's coach, whether Heisman winner or not, to go find something else to do. Bill, the big news here in Arkansas, and we'll let you go with this. I don't know if you'd seen it yet, but there's going to be an announcement. In fact, the university has already announced Arkansas State will be played the year 2025, but it goes deeper because the Razorbacks have Arkansas Pine Bluff on the schedule this year. Initially, that game was to be played in Fayetteville. It's being moved to Little Rock, and in trade, the Mizzou game, which had been played in Little Rock every other year, is now moving to Fayetteville. So Arkansas had only 2 league games at home this year at Razorback Stadium. Now you got a third with the A&M game in Arlington. Arkansas is the designated home team. But, you know, we've gotten the insider's perspective here across the state from somebody on the outside who pays attention to SEC football. What do you think about this?
You know what I think? I thought you were going to tell me that Arkansas started a competition eating team and Ty was going to be the head coach. That's what I thought you were about to tell me. I thought they were going to pay him all this money, and he's going to go to his first match would be come back to Vanderbilt, take on the locals. Guys, I mean, that's interesting. Now, does that mean that means they play Butch? They play Sergeant Carter?
Well, if he's still the coach there in 2025, yes. That's an if.
That'd be pretty fun. That'd be I can't wait for you guys to meet him. He's a piece of work.
Yeah, it is the sort of news though that really creates a lot of conversation around the state, but you're going to get crickets from everywhere else, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's good for you guys. That's good stuff. For the in-state folks, that's accommodating. You don't get that kind of camaraderie in every state. You don't get that here. I mean, Tennessee and Memphis can't even agree to play.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I didn't think about that.
Well, Razorback fans and Arkansas State fans will be at each other's throats for the next 4 years.
Right.
So we'll see how much together they are. Bill, appreciate you hopping on as always. Thank you.
Thanks,
we'll do it again next week.